one time, actually, this my mentor. He buys me the best gifts. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm talking about like free Eagles tickets one time. Like, got me a pair of Travis Scott ones. Like, just the best gift giver you've ever met in your life. And so one time, I decided I'm gonna get him a gift when I go see him. So I pull up. You probably don't know this store. It's called Barnes & Noble. Who knows what Barnes & Noble is? Okay, all right. I got all these Gen Zers, Gen Alphas. They're like, I read physical books. E-books just don't do it for me because I'm mature, demure, very mindful. You know, like, I read physical books, okay? Right? So I go to Barnes & Noble, and I'm walking up and down the aisles, like looking for a book for my guy, right? So first I walk through, I go through like the kids the sports section, and I'm walking through, and I stop. Something catches my eye. It's a book on the greatest basketball player to ever live. His name's LeBron James. I had to make that joke here. It feels so good. I know where I am. I'm joking. Relax. I know where I am. I can't wait to see all the middle schoolers in the hallway. Really, bro? Really? That's how you feel, bro? Really, bro? Okay, so I stop at the sports section. And I read something, and then I move on to the cooking section. I'm like, that's weird for like another man to buy a grown man a cooking book. You know what I mean? Like, we both have 13 chest hairs. I can't be like, here's a cookbook. Like, it's not gonna work. Okay? So then I'm like, okay, I walk through the science fiction aisle, and then there's like just like weird people. I don't know why they were moving like this. They were moving weird though. They were just like, come here. I was like, ew, I rebuke you. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not going down that aisle. In the name of Jesus, hey, I rebuke you. And then I'm walking, and I go to the faith aisle of self-help and faith. That should make us squirm a little bit. Faith and self-help. And I found a book called Your Best Life Now by Joel Osteen. And I was like, I might as well get this. You know what I mean? Like, give it to him. Your best life is today, man. Come on, take this. I didn't know what to buy him, but I know he likes to read. So I get him the book. And then I go ahead and I get him the book, and then I go ahead and I'm walking down the kids aisle. And as I'm walking down the kids aisle, I see this prolific work by a prestigious author named Dr. Seuss, okay? I see this book labeled The Cat in the Hat, right? And it's for some reason I feel something like, wow, that work really changed my life. I don't know who I would be without that cat or that hat, So I get the book because I feel like God's telling me to do it. So I get the book, and I check out both of them. I'm like, this is really weird. So I go to see him, and as I go to sit before him, he's like, Pete, I got you a gift. He gives me an awesome gift, right? I'm like, dude, this is amazing. Thank you so much. He got me like a pair of Nike Dunks I've wanted my whole life. He's like, dude, here you go. And then he's like, did you bring me a gift? I'm like, in here? He's like, yeah, what's in that bag? I was like, no. I sent you something on Amazon. It'll be here on Tuesday. You know what I mean? And so finally, I give him, I'm like, fine, bro, I got you something. I give him the book, The Cat in the Hat. And he's looking at it, and he's like, how did you know? And I'm like, know what? And then he just starts crying. Like, we're at lunch, and this dude just starts crying. And now me and my mentor, let me tell you something about him. He's like 6'4", we're the same height, and what's so funny? Okay, fine, I'm a tall 5'7", but the doctor says I can still grow. I'm only 31 and my knees are young. Watch your mouth. People's feelings could get hurt, and by people, I mean me, okay? Anyway, fine, I'm a tall 5'7", he's 6'4", and so he gets up out of his chair, and he just hugs me, and he's crying bitterly, and I'm patting him on the back, like, they're there. You know what I mean? Like grown men hugging each other in a restaurant, and this is a long hug. They're there, my guy. And he's like, I'm like, bro, what's going on? He's like, Pete, he said, this is a 30-year wound that you didn't even know existed. I said, what do you mean? He said, when my dad left my mom, I was 7 years old. And he said, my dad left my mom, and he told me he was leaving me too. And he came into my room, gave me a hug and kiss, said he would never see us again. And he took off of my shelf The Cat in the Hat. And he said, I just want something to remember you by. He said, I told the Lord, I will forgive him when somebody gifts me this book with a prophetic word. That was my fleece to God. He said 30 years later, he said, I'm a grown man. I've established my life, my business, my ministry. It's going so well. He said, but that was a wound that was so deep in my heart. He said, you gave me this today, and it was insight that the Lord wanted to heal me. He said, how did you know? I didn't know then, but what I know now is that Jesus is greater. Even though he thought that situation was dead and that it was over and that it didn't matter. Oh, God said, no, I care about you. Why? Because he's greater.
Hey, it's Pastor Zach here with Illinois Student Ministries. If you liked that video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel to see more content. If you want to see more clips and talks from our events, you can check out one of those here. And if you want to hear some stories from our students and leaders across the state, you can check out an example of those right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.